the perfect thing to say. And as I thought about this and as I tried to think about something that would be beneficial and not waste our time, a couple of things came to mind. The first thing I want to say is, if you're sitting in here right now, you're uncommon. The things that we ask you to do on a normal basis, people in that building can't do. Because if they could, or if they chose to, they would be in this room with you. So from the beginning, you're uncommon, you're different. And you need to understand that. Because if you're different and being different separates you. And Coach says, well, or people say, Coach, I don't know if I want to be separate, blah, blah, blah. Being separate and different is not a bad thing. You stand out. You set yourself apart. And so I want to commend you. Those of you who come out here on a regular basis, bust your tails, you're uncommon. You're different right now. You're different than that group of people that sit underneath there. You're different, and you've got to get that through your mind. Because what we ask you to do, and why I'm saying you're different, you're uncommon, those different things, why that's so important is in today's society, that's not always something to be celebrated. That's not something that people want you to be. And I'm telling you, that's okay. Now, we're going to step back a second and come back at what's next. Being uncommon versus them, and there's great people over there. Please don't miss. I'm not saying common isn't a bad thing. Common's not a bad word. Common's common for a reason. But if you wanted to be common, you'd be over there. And there are great people in that building. Okay? They're just common. They're not doing that extra. You're uncommon compared to that building. But where we need to get to, we want to be uncommon, not the same, not like everybody else, versus the people at Rouse, versus the people at Liberty Hill, versus the people at O'Neill, versus the people at Ennis. You're saying, Coach, where are those places? Those are the top 5A Division I programs over this last year. Because right now, they're doing the same thing. We are common with them. Their coaches are talking to them about being different, about being, all the words, being the Cub pride, those type of things. They're working out today. They're coming after school. So out here versus other athletic programs, if that's all you're doing, then you're just common. Where you have to take the next step is to become uncommon when we compare others like us. Are you doing that extra work? Are you coming after school? But are you coming after school and are you working? Because I can tell you this, those folks at Alito, they go after school, it ain't standing around talking, spinning circles. They're in there busting their ass. You don't win non-state championships to spin in circles. And as a group, that's what we got to get to the point of, is it worth sacrificing? Is it worth going that one step further? Is it worth pissing off that guy that's been my friend since the beginning of time because he's skipping reps, he's not working his tail off? Is it worth that? Is it worth me being uncommon amongst all of us so we can take the next step? And what's awesome about that is anybody can do it. It can be done by anybody in here. All of us need to do it in here. You just have to make a choice. The other side of being uncommon is when someone gets on your tail and they coach you up, they take care of you. Being uncommon isn't getting butthurt and cussing and say, well, you do this. That's common. My 3 kids, and I talk about them all the time, my 3 kids, that's what they do. And I'm trying to beat it out of them. Not literally, figuratively. But being uncommon is being coached. And not only being coached, taking it, applying it, and getting better. Because that's part of being uncommon. Being common, being out here, you know you're going to get coached hard. But some of you, I've seen it, you get coached, and those shoulders drop, and I call it Eeyore. If y'all seen the old lady Eeyore, okay. Or you get pissed, and y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. You don't get better. That's common. That's acting like folks that are in there. Being uncommon is you take that and you grow and you get better. One of the things that I've seen is, I'll be drawing this quickly to a close. I only got 10 minutes, so I could talk on this all day. Something that I see, and I see it all the time, and it's one of those things that is just something that I see. It's something that I've been watching for a long time. One of the words, or it's actually 2 words, Coach brought up when we had our big meeting. Being unselfish, that is uncommon. Being unselfish is uncommon. Being unselfish out here has to become a priority. Great example. Yesterday, we were in here after school, and we were all lifted. And it's still that way. Asked you to put this weight room back together, and part of that bench right there is out. Someone has gone back and fixed this one. And they may have done it again. But when I left yesterday, there were still dumbbells and there were still benches left out. Being unselfish is somebody that was left here knowing you didn't do it, but putting it up. Is it a big deal? No. Is it something simple? Absolutely. But it's understanding somebody made a mistake. Somebody didn't do what they were supposed to. I'm not going to get pissed and it's not mine. Because that's what a team, and we say team, you talk about families all the time. My oldest hates my 2 young, and I say hate, it's a love-hate. Because if those 2 little ones screw up, guess who has to fix it? The big one. Why? Because I'm trying to teach him that he has to serve those other ones. Older guys, you need to serve these younger ones. Because if we're going to ever get to the place where we're going to be great, not be common, be uncommon, you've got to learn to serve each other. I've got to be able to serve Coach Fairman, Coach Ramsey. I've got to do that. Whether I know more than they do, whether I'm a better coach or not, that's irrelevant. They're both coordinators. If they need me to do something, I got to go do that. Not because they're in charge, but I'm going to do what I can to make them as good as I possibly can so we can take that next step. And that's what my challenge to you today is this. Serve each other. Because I'm telling you this, if you can learn to serve each other, all those things you want and that are making you selfish are going to come because we're going to do the things that it requires to get attention. You're going to win. You're going to win big because it doesn't matter because I'm here to help out my brother. And the last thing is, and this is a big one, about being uncommon, being different, is that sense of urgency. And my time is up, so I'm going to stop as soon as I get done with this. Is that sense of urgency. We're not promised tomorrow. Trey came in, he busted his butt all summer. He was ready to roll, and we were 2 weeks into it, and Trey's done. Trey, did you think that was going to happen? Be honest. No. You didn't think it was going to happen. Never would have thought it in a million years. Where's 5 star? Do you expect your season to end the way it did? You're not promised tomorrow. Now, thank God they're still here with us and they get another shot at this. Sometimes you're not promised tomorrow and you're gone wherever you're going. You ain't here no more. That's even worse. You're not promised tomorrow, so you better make today count. That means in here, that means in life, that means with your family, that means in everything that you do. Make today count. Make this moment count. So having a sense of urgency is getting out here on a hop, running out here, getting dressed, coach talking in the time that he's supposed to have and getting out here. That's a sense of urgency. But be even bigger than that. Have it in everything that you do. Because if you have a sense of urgency, you're willing to serve others, and you're willing to do more than what is asked of you. That's how you become uncommon. And uncommon people change the world. On Monday, we celebrated a common man who was willing to be uncommon, and he changed the freaking world. That's my challenge to you. Be a common man who does uncommon things. Change this team. Change this school. Change this community. Go change this world. And again, be uncommon. That's all I got.